Okay, Prabhuji, you are the host now. Hare Krishna, dear
Yes.
devotees, Dhamma Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj. This is Manidhar Das, and I welcome you all to Srimad Bhagavatam call. And today we are very fortunate. We have His Grace Tarun Prabhu from Delhi, India. And Prabhuji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, and verse number 14. Hare Krishna, Tarun Prabhuji. You may take over the call when you are ready.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
for
Prabhu.
giving me an opportunity to speak something from Srimad Bhagavatam. So first we'll do one Vaishnav song, that is Sundar Bala Sachi Dulala Nachat Shri Hari Kirtan mein. Sundar Bala Sachi Dulala नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में सुंदर बाला सखी दुलारा नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में भाले चंदन तिलक मनोहर अलक शोभे कपोलन में भाले चंदन तिलक मनोहर अलक शोभे कपोलन में शीरे चूड़ाधर शी बाले वन फूल माला हिया पर डोले शीरे चूड़ाधर शी बाले वन फूल माला हिया पर डोले पहिरन पीत पटांबर शोभे नुपुर रुनु झुनु चरणों में पहिरन पीत पीतांबर शोभे नुपुर रुनु झुनु चरणों में सुंदर बाला सची दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में सुंदर बाला शची दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में राधा कृष्ण एक तनु है निधुवन माझे वंशी बजाए राधा कृष्ण एक तनु है निधुवन माझे वंशी बजाए विश्व रूप की प्रभु जी सही आवत प्रकट ही नदिया में विश्व रूप की प्रभु जी सही आवत प्रकट नदिया में सुंदर बाला सची दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में सुंदर बाला सखी दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में कोई गायत है राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गायत है हरि गुण गान कोई गायत है राधा कृष्ण नाम कोई गायत है हरि गुण गान मंगल तान मृदंग रसाला बाजत है कोई रंगन में मंगल तान मृदंग रसाला बाजत है कोई रंगन में सुंदर बाला सची दुलारा नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में सुंदर बाला सची दुलाला नाचत श्री हरि कीर्तन में जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. So we three are there in the meeting, so one by one we can read the translation. So first one I'll read. This gorgeous boy is the darling child of Mother Sachi, dancing in the kirtan of chanting Lord Hari's name. His forehead is adorned with drawings of sandalwood paste, and his enchanting locks of hair are shining in a splendorous fashion as they bounce upon his cheeks. Yes, so other devotees can also read, yeah.
Yes, Prabhu. His hair is wrapped in a top knot, and a garland of forest flower sways upon his chest. Wearing brilliant yellow silken garments, he dances with ankle bells tinkling upon his feet.
Yes. Mm. Mm. Mataji, if possible, if you can also read the next translation. Okay, Shri Radha and Krishna have become joined in one body, and together they play a flute within the groove of Nidhuvan. In this mood, the Lord of Vishwarup has come and manifested himself in the town of Nadia. Prabhuji, if you can read the last one.
Yes, someone in that kirtan sings the names of Radha and Krishna, someone else sings songs of Lord Hari's transcendental qualities, while others play the auspicious rhythms of the sweet and relishable mridanga drums. All this takes place in that spectacular performance.
Shri Gauranatai
Hare
ji.
Krishna.
So we'll read from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16, Text 40. So the verse is Jitam Jita Tada Bhavata Yada Bhagavatam Dharmam Anavadyam Nishkinchana Ye Munaya Atma Rama Yamupasate Apavargaya Jitam Jita Tada Bhavata Yada Bhagavatam Dharmamanvadyam Nishkinchana Ye Munaya Atma Rama Yamupasate Apavargaya Jitam Jita Tada Bhavata Yada Bhagavatam Dharmamanvadyam Nishkinchana Ye Munaya Atma Rama Yamupasate Apavargaya. So word by word translation. Jitam, conquered. Ajit, O unconquerable one. Tada, then. Bhavata, by your lordship. Yada, when. Ah, spoke. Bhagavatam, which helps the devotee approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharmam, the religious process. Anavadyam, faultless, free from contamination. Nishkinchana, who have no desire to be happy with material opulences. Ye, those who. Munaya, great philosophers and exalted sages. Atma Arama, who are self satisfied, being completely aware of their constitutional position as eternal servants of the Lord. Yam, whom Upasate worship, Apavargaya, for achieving liberation from material bondage. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. O unconquerable one, when you spoke about Bhagavad Dharma, which is the uncontaminated religious system for achieving the shelter of your lotus feet, that was your victory. Persons who have no material desires, like the Kumaras, who are self satisfied sages, worship you to be liberated from material contamination. In other words, they accept the process of Bhagavad Dharma to achieve shelter at your lotus feet. Purport. As stated by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anya Bilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadya Navritam Anukulena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhaktiruttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desires for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. The Narad Pancharatra also says, Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. One should be free from all material designations and cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. That is called devotional service. This is also called Bhagavad Dharma. Without material aspirations, one should simply serve Krishna as advised in Bhagavad Gita, Narad Pancharatra, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Dharma is the process of religion initiated by pure devotees, direct representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead like Narad, Shukdev Goswami, and their humble servants in the disciplic succession. By understanding Bhagavad Dharma, one immediately becomes free from material contamination. Living entities who are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are loitering in this material world suffering. When they are instructed by the Lord Himself about Bhagavad Dharma and they adapt it, that is victory for the Lord, for He then reclaims these fallen souls. A devotee following the religious principles of Bhagavad Dharma feels very much obliged to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can understand the difference between life without Bhagavad Dharma and life with Bhagavad Dharma, and thus he ever remains obliged to the Lord. Taking to Krishna consciousness and bringing fallen souls to Krishna consciousness is victory for Lord Krishna. Sarve pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adokshaje ahetu ki apratihata ye atma suprasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam is the pure transcendental process of religion. So we'll read one more verse and then we'll have some discussion. विषमामतिर्न यत्र नृणां त्वमहम् इति मम तवेति यद् अन्यत्र विषमधिया रचितो या स हि विशुद्धाक्षयिष्णुरधर्म बहुला. Being full of contradictions, all forms of religion but Bhagavad Dharma work under conceptions of fruitive results and distinctions of you and I and yours and mines. The followers of Srimad Bhagavatam have no such consciousness. They are all Krishna conscious, thinking that they are Krishna's and Krishna is theirs. There are other low-class religious systems which are contemplated for the killing of enemies or the gain of mystic power. But such religious systems, being full of passion and envy, are impure and temporary. Because they are full of envy, they are full of irreligion. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सयगं रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सयगं ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे Hare Krishna. So thank you everyone. Thank you to all the devotees for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to speak something uh, from Srimad Bhagavatam and share whatever I have heard from my seniors, Srila Prabhupada. So right now, the section that we are discussing is from 6th canto, where Chitraketu Maharaj got darshan of Supreme Lord. We all know that he initially was not able to beget any child, and he was very much unhappy. Then Angira Rishi visited him. Uh, he understood that the king is not happy, although he's a pious king. He's serving sages and everything, but still he saw that he's unhappy. And after knowing the cause, he gave him a boon that okay, his eldest wife will beget a son. So in due course of time, she became pregnant. She got a son, and as the sage told that you should keep the name of child as Harishashok. So he had kept, and then the co-queens had disguised a conspiracy against the child, and they had poisoned that child. And the king, when he came to know that that his son is dead, he was unable to stand. He became unconscious, and then Narad Angira Rishi came again, and he brought Narad Muni, and they brought the child back to life. And the child asked that, okay, you are calling yourself as my father, but from which birth are you my father? And then he gave some transcendental knowledge, and then by the will of Supreme Lord, he again left that body. And then Narad Muni initiated Chitraketu Maharaj, and due to that, as he followed the orders of his spiritual master Narad Muni, he got darshan of Supreme Lord. So here, when he got darshan, then Chitraketu Maharaj is emphasizing upon Bhagavad Dharma. So the question arises, what is this Dharma and what is Bhagavad Dharma? So if we see what Prabhupada and our Acharya, especially Sanatan Goswami, is given is, along with Bhagavad Dharma, he has also stated about Panchratrika Vidhi. So what is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma means the core spiritual activities, the core activities in our Krishna consciousness, like chanting 16 rounds, following four regulative principles, reading, hearing, doing Shravan, Kirtan, all these are Bhagavad Dharma. And then Sanatan Goswami has also given in Hari Bhakti Vilas about Panchratrika Vidhi. Panchratrika Vidhi means doing deity worship, offering arti to Lord, offering food to the Lord. This is also very much important. Why this is important? Because our senses are not yet purified. We cannot perform Bhagavad Dharma with our present senses as those are contaminated. So by performing Panchratrika Vidhi, our senses become purified because we are engaged in the service of Lord directly. That is why this Panchratrika Vidhi, where we are uh, offering lamb to the Lord, we are offering different paraphernalias in Aarti, we are offering food to the Lord, Bhoga to Lord, that purifies our senses. Because we cannot see Lord everywhere. Like Prahlad Maharaj was able to see Lord everywhere, even within a pillar. Because he was a Uttam Adhikari, he was a pure devotee, advanced devotee. But right now we are sadhakas. We are doing sadhana bhakti. And our senses are not purified. So Lord, by his mercy, has appeared in this form, which is made of either wood or metal or clay or pictures. So using which we can perceive the Lord, we can offer our food, our love to Lord, and at the same time become purified. That is the benefit of Panchratrika Vidhi. It is like two tracks of a rail. The train cannot run on a single track. It needs two tracks. Similarly, Bhagavad Dharma and Panchratrika Vidhi go hand in hand. So in Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami defines that devotional service is performed at three stages. Devotional service as a practice, second is devotional service in ecstasy, and third is devotional service in pure love. So right now, what we are doing is devotional service in practice, which is also known as sadhana bhakti. So three stages are sadhana bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. So Bhava Bhakti and Prema Bhakti are at next level. Today we'll discuss something from Sadhana Bhakti, which is the primary aspect of our Bhagavad Dharma. What we are following. Like if we see that every person is doing something or other because he's getting some mellow. He's getting some rasa. That is why someone is working, right? He wants to fulfill the needs of his family. That is why one is working. He's getting that rasa that, okay, I've built a good house. Bought a new car. I'm getting good education for my child, good clothes for my children and my wife. So he's getting some mellow. He's getting some rasa. Similarly, scientists are getting some rasa. They're getting some mellow. That is why they are trying to invent new and new technology so that they get known by the world. So they are getting some rasa. Philosophers are getting some rasa, that they are being known by the kind of speculations, by the kind of logical arguments they are giving. So everyone in this world is getting rasa. That is why they are doing any particular activity. If you are not getting rasa, then it's difficult to do any activity for a long time. Similarly, when we are practicing bhakti, we also relish some mellow. We also get some rasa. Now the difference is that this material rasa or mundane rasa is temporary, like getting a new job. Initially, we all are excited that we are joining a new company. New rules will be there, new people will be there. So initially, we are happy. We think that, okay, I'll get a better boss and those things. But as we join, then we are similar to as we were before. Similarly, when we are buying a new phone, initially we are very much excited, but after some time, it's like a normal phone. So the mellow or that rasa ends because that is temporary. Why? Why is it temporary? Hmm? Any guess? Why mundane rasa is temporary?
Mundane rasa is basically because the devotee is not practicing anything. He's just enjoying at that moment only.
Even if you see the creator is saying it is the world is dukhalya masha ashvat. It is temporary.
Hmm.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this world is full of misery and everything is temporary. So the creator himself is giving us a disclaimer that you will not be able to relish here for eternity. Now, bhakti rasa is eternal because it is not influenced by time. There is no influence of time in spiritual world. And similarly, whatever spiritual activities we are doing, they are they are not affected by time. So once a person went to a village. So once he went to a village, and at the entrance of village there was a big board, and there every person's name who has died was written, and along with that age was written. So he was reading that board and he was astonished. He saw that ages of people are very less. Ages were written as so and so person lived for 4 years, another person lived for 5 years, another person lived for 2 years, another person lived for 6 years. So he thought that here everyone dies so early. So he walked inside and he saw there are people who are old. People are having white beard, white hair, and those things. So he was perplexed that why this has been written. So he asked a person, why age of every person who has died is so less? And then that person told that what we consider is that that the duration for which one has performed spiritual activity is actually the life that he has lived. And that was the most productive part of his life. That is why you see ages as 2 years, 4 years, or 5 years, because that person had performed spiritual activities only for that much duration. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is written that Ayur Harati Vaipumsan Udyan Astam Chayanaso. That with the rising and setting of the sun, one's life is taken away. Right? So In material world, everything is temporary, but in spiritual world, there is no influence of time, and that bhakti rasa is eternal. We also speak in Shikshashram, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam. That at every moment, that anand, that bliss is increasing. Keval Ananda Kanda. That the bliss, that the anand that we are experiencing is always increasing. Just if we just think that the love of Srimati Radharani is unlimited, and since time immemorial, it is increasing in unlimited quantity. Now, just if we think that's something which is unlimited, since unlimited time is increasing unlimitedly, how is it possible? But that is spiritual love. We cannot understand this by our tiny brain because it is again influenced by our material conditioning. But the love of Srimati Radharani is unlimited. And this bhakti, devotional service, is performed directly under the care of Srimati Radharani. That is why the spiritual bliss that we experience is unlimited. And it is not influenced by material conditions. And now, what is bhakti? Bhakti is active engagement. Prabhupada didn't translate bhakti as emotion, which means that bhakti is not translated as devotion. If you ask any outsider, he will say, okay, bhakti means devotion. But Prabhupada gave the definition as devotional service. Service means engaging our senses in some work, right? Service, whenever we hear about service, this means that we are engaging our senses in some activity. Now, devotional service means that we are engaging our mind and senses in the service of Lord. That is devotional service. Now, Lord doesn't need this service from our side. It is for our own benefit that when we are performing devotional service, then our senses become purified. Right now, we are performing sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means that we are following certain rules and regulations. And right now, if we see at least my stage, if I consider my stage, maybe you all are exalted, but at my stage, I am a sadhaka. I'm trying to do sadhana bhakti, which means Rupa Goswami tells what is sadhana bhakti. He tells sadhana bhakti means that one doesn't has any true love for Krishna right now, but he follows the instructions of his spiritual master and scriptures. So one may not have true love, pure love for Krishna right now, but is trying to follow the instructions of his spiritual master and authoritative scriptures. That is sadhana bhakti, where we are trying to follow one who is having pure love for Krishna. Why? Because if spiritual master is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya aprasadan nagati kutobi. That if spiritual master is pleased, then Lord is all automatically pleased. And if he is displeased, then Krishna is also not pleased. This is sadhana bhakti, that our senses are not yet pure. Still, we are engaging in the service of Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. That although my senses are not pure, but by engaging them in the service of Lord, these will get pure. And we can see practical examples in the life of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. They were hippies. They were engaged in all kinds of sinful activities. They were doing meat eating, intoxication, illicit relationships, gambling. This was their life. What Prabhupada asked them to give up is what they were 24 hours engaged in. 24 hours they were engaged. And even when Shyam Sundar Prabhu was carving out deities of Jagannath, he was smoking cigarette, and ashtray was lying on the head of Balramji. And Prabhupada told, why are you bringing cigarette in between you and Jagannath? And from that day, he gave up. So just by engaging in the service of Lord, under the instruction of a spiritual master, they all got purified. Those people who were not taking bath for 15 days or months, they are taking bath thrice in a day. So this is what we can understand, that this is the evidence of scriptures, that kiba vipra kiba nyasi shudra kenina shravanadi shuddha chitta karayude. That one may be one may not be a pure devotee. One may be a kiba vipra kiba nyasi shudra kenina. That one may be a Brahman, one may be a Shudra also, or one may be a dog eater. But if he knows the science of Krishna, then he is qualified to become a Brahman. That is the benefit of performing sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means that even though my senses are not purified, still I am engaging in service of Lord. I may not have pure love for Krishna. Still, under the directions of my spiritual master and authority of scriptures, I am engaged in his service. And by engaging in this service, slowly and steadily, I'll get purified. That is bhakti. That is active engagement. And Prabhupada gives an example that that bhakti is dormant in everyone. Everyone has bhakti. It is dormant within every living entity. Just like the innate capability of walking is there within every child. Almost all every children. Some may not walk, but yeah, it is there. Innate capability of walking is there in children. But they need to practice. And with practice, they are able to walk. Similarly, this Krishna consciousness is within everyone. It is within everyone. It's just about applying the process of bhakti, applying the process of active engagement, which is Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayude. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabhinay Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karayude. That Krishna consciousness is there in everyone's heart. And how we can uh, bring it up, how we can do that Uday? By Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. By hearing. By Adi means Shravan Adi. By hearing in Adi is by doing other activities like chanting, association of devotees, going regular to temples, we can reawaken our love, our dormant love for Krishna. So it is there within everyone's heart. But right now we are under the clutches of Maya. And now Maya is doing its activities very nicely. It is always keeping us engaged. We should be engaged 24 hours in the service of Krishna, but right now Maya is engaging us in her service. If we see, we are so much engaged that sometimes we get remembrance of Krishna. Recently, His Holiness Sachindan Maharaj was there, and he was telling that if you are able to remember Krishna only once in a day, that is perfection of life. Why? Because Maya is doing her job very nicely. It is keeping us engaged 24 hours. So many movies are there now, so many web series are coming, and now even devotees are watching those web series. Then you have Instagram, Facebook, you have YouTube shorts, reels. So many distractions are there. And although we are hearing so much about it, still we are falling in that trap. So Maya is doing her job very nicely. And it is very difficult to overcome Maya. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Devi hi esha gunamai mam maya duratya mam evya prapadyante mayamit tam tarantite. That this material energy of mine is very difficult to overcome. Devi esha gunamai mam maya duratya. It is very bad. It is very difficult to overcome. So what is the hope? And in the next part, Krishna says, Mam evye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. That just by surrendering it unto me, you can cross over this nescience of material world, this ocean of material world. Just by surrendering to Krishna. There is no other way. And right now we don't have that pure love for Krishna. So what should we do? We should obey the orders of our spiritual master. We should follow the path which Prabhupada has given us. And what is sadhana bhakti? This means that we are following the rules and regulations of bhakti. That is getting up early in the morning, doing Mangal Arati, chanting our rounds early in the morning, hearing regularly. So this is very important part of sadhana bhakti. What is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti? What is sadhana bhakti? This means that being at right place at right time. Right? Everyone wants to be at the right place at right time. Everyone wants to invest in the right company at right time. People are watching. People are regularly watching the stocks that we should buy at. We want to buy the right property at right time. Similarly, in bhakti, also we should be at right place at right time. Like being for Mangalarti at 4:30 a.m., being for Bhagavatam class at the right time, being at Prasadam hall at the right time. This is Vaidhi Bhakti. This is Sadhana Bhakti. That by following the rules, automatically, initially it's a struggle. It's a struggle to control our mind while chanting or doing different activities of spirituality. But as we go on performing, right, we'll become purified. And we'll go from this Vaidhi Bhakti to Raganuga Bhakti, where we have kind of developed that spontaneous love for Krishna. That now it is not being forced upon us to get up early in the morning. Automatically, we have got this habit. We know it's very important for me. We are not pushed. Right? So this is very important. Otherwise, Maya is doing it her job very nicely. So now, how a sadhaka like us can see Krishna everywhere. Right? Everyone is talking about seeing Krishna, about being attracted to Krishna, but how can we see? So, any suggestions anyone would like to give? How can we perceive Krishna's presence in our life? How we can understand it? Because we are not yet at pure love, like Prahlad Maharaj, that we can see Krishna in a pillar, or like gopis who were seeing everywhere Krishna. They were seeing in bumblebee, trees, Yamuna, everywhere they were seeing Krishna. So how can a sadhaka like us perceive the presence of Krishna everywhere? Any suggestions? Any inputs? Mhm.
Like we can see um, Krishna is in, like, in the form of Paramatma in every jiva or every
Yes,
living
very nice.
entities. This is
Yes,
how we can see in one way.
yes, very nice. Similar thing, His Holiness Sachendra Maharaj told that seeing Krishna from near to far. First, we should try to understand Krishna within our heart as Paramatma, and also in day-to-day activities how Krishna is influencing us. If we just think what we were before coming to devotional service, before coming to bhakti, and how much transformation has happened in our life, that is all by the mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. So we have got this devotion. We are trying to at least hear, right? Just getting a desire to hear about Krishna is itself a big achievement in Kali Yuga. How many people, how many percent, less than even 0.001% in this entire world will be having this desire to hear about Krishna, will be chanting daily. So first seeing Krishna near and then far. That okay, far means spiritual world. First we should try to see the presence of Krishna near us. Another way to see Krishna is by reading the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So that 10th chapter is opulences of Lord, where Krishna is saying, I am this, I am that, I am this splendor in man. Amongst Pandavas, I am Arjuna, I am the taste of water, I am the fragrance of earth. I am Mount Sumeru amongst all mountains. So what does Krishna mean? That whatever quality you are seeing is coming from me. And Krishna says at the end that all the opulences which I have told you, they're just a glimpse. Like I haven't even starting telling about my qualities. And even we hear that Anantashesht, who has thousands of heads, is trying to glorify Krishna. since time immemorial, and still he's glorifying. So this is the opulence. So we can read chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita and understand the opulences of Krishna. Like whenever we are drinking water, we can just think that Krishna says that I am the taste of water. So when Prabhupada said to these Bums that, you know, you all are drinking wine. So the taste of wine is Krishna. So Prabhupada was coming to their level and trying to tell them, whenever you're drinking wine, okay, you're drinking, you cannot give it up, okay. But just think of Krishna. Krishna says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskar. Just think, always think of me, always remember me. Offer me your worship, or offer your homage to me, and you will come to me. And there is, for this there is no doubt. So we should try to think about Krishna, whatever activities we are doing. And like I'm just amazed that how Prabhupada disciples, whenever they are speaking, they're just connecting everything to Prabhupada. So much gratitude they have for Prabhupada. And that is why they are so much Krishna conscious and Prabhupada conscious. So we should read about these opulences and try to see Krishna everywhere. And then next is, don't allow this world to fill your mind with garbage. Because there is so much of bad things that are there. It's like Gigo principle, garbage in, garbage out. So if we are putting garbage in our mind, then how will we become Krishna conscious? If we are watching movies or hearing mundane songs or whatever, we all know so many things, so many distractions are there, or we are having friends who hardly know anything about Krishna consciousness, and the whole day they are talking about money and those things. So it is very difficult for us to become Krishna conscious. If we are filling our mind with garbage, with all the mundane things, then it's like punas punas charvita charunanam. We are just chewing the chewed. It's like janiya shuniya vishakhainu. That we know what is right, still we are unable to follow it. And we are filling our mind with garbage. So we should not allow that garbage from others to be filled in our mind. And next is, we should not be envious of others. We should never be envious of anyone. Prabhupada was never envious of anyone. He considered everyone as his friend. So we should not be envious. So if we try to do these things, that is first seeing the hand of Krishna in our life, seeing Krishna near and then far. Next is reading the chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita. Third is, don't allow the world to fill your mind with garbage. And fourth is, never be envious of anyone. If we try to follow these things, then automatically we'll start becoming Krishna conscious. We have to make our life balanced. Just like village girls in India, that village ladies in India, they are walking and at the same time balancing the earthen pot on their head. Very nicely they are balancing that earthen pot on their head, and they're walking very swiftly. Similarly, we have to balance our life. That our duties, our professional household duties, don't affect our Krishna consciousness. As Lord Krishna told Arjuna, "Mamanusmaridyacha," that you always remember me and fight. Okay, I'm not asking you to give up your duty. You don't need to go to forest, like sixth chapter of first verse, that sannyasi is not who gives up everything and doesn't light fire. One who is Krishna conscious, who is engaged in my service, is actually a sannyasi. So Krishna says, "Ma manusmaryuddhacha," that you should remember me and do your duty. And that this is how we can become Krishna conscious. That in every aspect we should see the hand of Krishna. And Krishna is there, even if we are having some, what we can say, some faults, still Krishna will neglect. Krishna is giving the highest reward to the least qualified. That is the mercy. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a verse 3.2.23. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam jighansaya payayat apiyat sadhavi lebhe gatim dhatri ujitam tatavanyam kamva dayalum sharanam rajema. That, alas, where will I find such a merciful Lord who gave the position of his mother to the she demon who Putana, who came to kill him by putting poison on her breast. Where will I find such a merciful Lord? And also we can see in the Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dina Hina Yatta Chilo, Harinam Udharilo, Tara Sakshi Jagai Madaye. That they were the most fallen, and Nityan Prabhu thought that if they become devotees, then the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will spread. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them his blessings. So Krishna is giving highest reward to the least qualified. But the thing is, we have to consider our least qualified. As we sing in Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu song, that Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatar, Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Pyar. That you have come here to deliver the most fallen, and you will not find anyone more fallen than me. In another song, Gauranga Karuna Karu, there is a line that Yadi daya na karibe patita dekhiya patita pavan nama kisir labhiya. That if you are not merciful by seeing a patit like me, a fallen person like me, then what is the use of you being called as patit pavan? So devotee is challenging that if you are patit pavan, if you are the savior of fallen conditioned souls, then you should uh, give your mercy to me. So Krishna is ready to give us his mercy, but the most important thing is that we should be ready to accept it. We may not have very good qualifications or those things, but bhakti is not limited to material qualifications. It's that anyone who is a devotee automatically gets the qualities of a demigod. Right? So now for this, what what Chitraketu Maharaj in this verse is emphasizing is on Bhagavad Dharma, the core activities of our Krishna consciousness. And the most important activity is our chanting, that is japa. That is the most important activity of our Krishna consciousness. So I'll just conclude that how we can uh, improve our japa, how we can improve our chanting. So His Holiness Sachindan Maharaj told that if we follow this Isha principle, Isha rule, then it will definitely help us in improving our japa. That is, Isha means from Ishwar, controller. That we can also control what we are doing in our chanting by following this formula. That is ISA, Isha formula. So by I is intensity. That when we are, sorry, not intensity, intention. I is for intention. That whenever we are sitting for chanting our japa, whether it is at our home, whether at any yatra, or whether it is in temple hall, first we should think is why I am doing this activity. Intention. First, we should focus on intention behind doing our chanting. So it should be clear that I am here to attract the mercy of Lord, to request Lord to engage me in your service. So first is intention. Then S is for sincerity. That we should be sincere. We should try to contact the sincerity that is there within us. We all have that sincerity. That is why we have been chanting 16 rounds since so long. So we should try to contact our sincerity. Just understand the purpose and why it is very important for me. And then A is attention. Whenever our mind is running away from japa, try to bring it back. try to grab your attention back to the main activity. So if we are doing this, if you're trying to follow this formula, Isha formula, it will definitely help. When Maharaj told, I also personally tried and it helped me. That is why I thought that I'll share with other devotees as well. So I is for intention, S is for sincerity, and A is attention. And if we are doing this activity, then our Bhagavad Dharma, that is core spiritual activities, will flourish. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to share something. So I'll just do a recap that today we discussed about Bhakti Rasa, that everyone is performing some activity due to as they're experiencing some rasa, and we devotees are experiencing the real rasa, that is Bhakti Rasa, which is eternal. And Bhakti means active engagement. This active engagement, Bhakti, is innate within us, like walking capability within a child. It's just about applying the right process. And then how we can see Krishna everywhere? By going from near to far, reading 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Don't allow this world to fill your mind with garbage, and we should not be envious. And then we discussed about how to improve this japa, how to take full shelter of Lord in our japa by following this Isha formula, which is intention, sincerity, and attention. So thank you very much. Does anyone has any comments or questions we can take up?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Very nice
Dandavat
class,
Pranam.
Prabhuji. You have summarized the Bhakti Rasa very well. I mean, like about the in sadhana bhakti, Prabhuji, like we do all the practices every day. A lot of time, like inattentive chanting, inattentive hearing, and all these are there. So that is also like part of the sadhana bhakti, or because that is just a nama bhas that we are sometime speaking for myself. Um, is that part of the sadhana bhakti?
That in chanting we are getting distracted.
Yes.
Yes, so definitely it's part of sadhana bhakti. That is why, as I told, that sadhana bhakti means that we still don't have that pure love for Krishna,
Mm-hmm.
but still we want to attract that mercy. Still we want to get that thing. And most important is that since we are doing this bhakti, we see. Once I attended a seminar by His Holiness Bhakti Priyat Bhagavad Maharaj, and he told that we devotees are not achievers. That I am at this level, I am at Nabhabhas, I am at Shuddhanam, I am at Namaprat. We are receivers. We are receivers of mercy. By our own endeavor, it's very difficult to go back to Godhead. But Prabhupada has promised that if you're following the four relative principles and chanting 16 rounds, I'll take you back to Godhead. This is not the principle of 16 rounds given by Krishna. Krishna has not told that you should do 16 rounds. It's given by Prabhupada. So it's the potency of Acharya that will take us back to Godhead. So maybe we are doing Namaprat, but our intention should be that I have to chant without distractions, without getting distracted. Krishna is seeing our intention, what we are thinking, what we are doing, how we are doing. Only we and Krishna know that what we are thinking while doing japa. No one else will come to know, and we cannot hide from Krishna that particular thing. So Krishna knows about those things. So if he sees our sincerity, then definitely we'll go back to God. And it doesn't matter whether it's sadhana bhakti or pure love. Prabhupada has promised us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank
I would request devotees to, if you have any question, any comments, you can ask Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to
Hare
Sri
Krishna.
Prabhupada. Such a nice that he summarized the bhakti process about the fundamentals of the foundations of bhakti. That is to see Krishna everywhere and how to intensify our sadhana and get the Krishna's mercy. Yes, that's what this bhakti process is not one way. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. Krishna also comes. So say satata yuktam, esam sattu yuktam bhajatam pratipuro dadami buddhi yogam tam yena vam. So Krishna's mercy is all that makes the difference in terms of bhakti. Bhakti yoga as against jnana yoga, karma yoga. Karma yoga also, of course, in the some karma yoga Krishna helps, but and of course, this is because this is very close to bhakti. But the bhakti yoga is where Krishna directly reciprocates with it. So it is so fulfilling. So really so. I mean, that's what Krishna says in the beginning of chapter 9. I'm just trying to conjure my thoughts around your class today. Just so nice that susukam kartum bhayam. So that's why it makes the process of bhakti so relishable, so fulfilling in terms of happiness. I have come across some Hatha Yogi, the Ashtanga Yoga process, sadhakas in that discipline. And they say it is so difficult to do. But I mean, then I compare, I heard this thing and I compared with the process that yoga process that he is following. And then I really understand the importance of that verse that Krishna says. I mean, Pratyakshagavam dharma susukam kartum avayam. So that susukam kartum avayam is missing in other process. So it's so much relatable and bhakti process is a direct way that Krishna going back to the Hare Krishna. I just wanted to share some of my thoughts around yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, yeah, I think we can end today. So thank you very much for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
जय वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इसके तरुण प्रभु की जय। हरे कृष्णा।